Welcome to the realm where legends come to life. Here, we journey through the timeless tales of myth, folklore, and ancient history, exploring the mysteries that have fascinated humanity for centuries, from the heroic sagas of legendary warriors to the eerie whispers of forgotten spirits. Every story is a portal to a world beyond the ordinary. Subscribe and join me on this adventure as we uncover the truth behind the myths, unravel the secrets of ancient civilizations, and delve deep into the stories that shaped our world. Whether you're a lover of history, a fan of fantasy, or simply someone who enjoys a good tale, there's something here for you. Let the stories begin. Anubis, King of the Dead, Egyptian mythology. Explained, Anubis, the King of the Dead, is one of the most significant figures in Egyptian mythology. His appearance with the head of a jackal is both menacing and symbolic of his important role as the guardian of the afterlife. His blood-red claws are said to have severed the souls of the departed, guiding them on their journey through the underworld. His task was to ensure the balance between the living and the dead, weighing the souls to determine their fate. In ancient Egyptian beliefs, when a soul arrived in the underworld, it would face the daunting task of being judged. Anubis, the king who presided over this process, would escort the soul to the Hall of Two Truths. There, their heart would be weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. If the heart was lighter than the feather, it was considered pure, and the soul would be granted passage to paradise. If it was heavier, the soul would be devoured by the fearsome monster, Ammit, and doomed to a second death. Anubis's role as the protector of the dead and the guide to the afterlife was not always well understood. His origins are shrouded in mystery, but he was revered as the one who ensured that the souls of the dead were properly cared for. In early Egyptian texts, he was known as Inpu or Anpu, a name closely linked to decay, symbolizing his responsibility for overseeing the embalming process. The arrival of the ancient Greeks brought the name Anubis, and it stuck, becoming synonymous with death and the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians closely associated Anubis with jackals, as these animals were commonly seen lurking around tombs, scavenging on the bodies of the deceased. This association became so strong that the elaborate tombs built by the ancient Egyptians were designed not only to honor the dead, but also to protect them from the very creatures Anubis was linked to. Interestingly, modern genetic research has shown that the Egyptian jackal, often connected to Anubis, was actually an ancient species of wolf, not a jackal at all. Anubis's depiction in Egyptian art has remained iconic, with the King of the Dead often shown as a man with the head of a jackal. This unique appearance made him instantly recognizable, and his image was a constant presence in tombs and funeral rituals. His black fur or skin was symbolic of death, but it also represented fertility, specifically the fertile soil of the Nile River, which was essential for Egypt's agricultural prosperity. In the earliest mentions of Anubis, found in the pyramid texts and ancient tombs, he was seen as the guardian of the dead, responsible for ensuring their safe passage into the afterlife. However, as time went on, Anubis became more closely associated with the process of embalming and mummification. The process of mummification was a sacred ritual, and it was Anubis who took on the responsibility of preserving the body of Osiris, the god of the afterlife. One of the most famous myths surrounding Anubis involves his role in stopping the evil god Set, who sought to harm Osiris. When Set took the form of a leopard, Anubis fought him off, branding him with a hot iron rod and skinning him. This act of protection became a symbol of Anubis's power over death, and it was said that priests who attended to the dead would wear leopard skins to honor Anubis and his victory over Set. Anubis's role did not end with the mummification process. He also played an important part in the judgment of the dead. When a soul arrived in the underworld, Anubis would guide them through the Hall of Two Truths, where their heart would be weighed against the feather of Mot. This ceremony determined whether a soul was worthy of entering the afterlife, or whether they would be consumed by Ammit, the devouring monster. Interestingly, Anubis was sometimes seen as the son of Osiris or Set, depending on the mythological account. In some versions of the mythology, his mother was even believed to be the goddess Bastet, whose association with perfumes and oils was thought to relate to the embalming process. Anubis's wife, the goddess Anput, was also associated with mummification, and together they had a daughter named Kebeshe, the goddess of purification and water. Kebeshe played an essential role in the purification of the soul during the mummification process, ensuring that the spirits of the dead were ready for the afterlife. The influence of Anubis extended beyond Egypt, with the ancient Greeks recognizing him as a figure who had similarities to their own god Hermes. Hermes, who was also involved in guiding souls to the underworld, was often merged with Anubis to create a combined deity known as Hermanubis. This figure became popular during the Roman rule over Egypt and is seen as a fusion of both Egyptian and Greek beliefs about the afterlife. Despite Anubis's prominent role in Egyptian mythology, there are surprisingly few myths in which he is the central figure. This is likely because his task of overseeing death and guiding souls through the underworld was seen as a solemn duty, and much of his work was done behind the scenes. Unlike many other gods who were involved in grand tales of heroism and adventure, Anubis was the stoic, impartial guardian of the dead. His portrayal as an unselfish, devoted king who neither seeks glory nor status is evident in how he steps aside for Osiris to become the ruler of the underworld. Anubis's selflessness is a testament to his unwavering commitment to his task, to protect the dead and guide them to their final resting place, regardless of who sits on the throne of the underworld. Today, Anubis remains a symbol of death, mummification, and the afterlife. His legacy endures in the tombs and pyramids of Egypt, and his image continues to captivate the imagination of people around the world. Whether in ancient texts or modern depictions, Anubis stands as a reminder of the ancient Egyptians' reverence for life, death, and the eternal journey of the soul. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more ancient legends and folklore, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to StorySeeker. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss a new story. See you in the next adventure.